My far left, that's Vic DiPiero, Community Affairs.
Yeah.
Our Crime Prevention Officer, Tyrone Medeiros. Our Treasurer, Council Treasurer, Hazel Mira. And Jay Sturdivant is our other Community Affairs Officer. Our Commanding Officer is Deputy Inspector Andy Johnson. Our Secretary is Kay Gardona. And our Assistant Secretary is Andreas Siegel. I apologize for not having the raffle. It hurt me more than it hurt you. I want to welcome anybody who hasn't been to one of our meetings before. I'm going to turn the floor over to Deputy Inspector Johnson because we have an officer who has to leave, and I think he may need this information.
Good evening.
It's all right.
Captain Chris Henning from Bronx Narcotics. Good evening, everyone. Worked very diligently. Working on something as we speak. We came over here. So if anybody has any narcotics complaints, please reach out to him. He'll be here for about 15 minutes. Walk to him, give him your complaints. They'll be anonymous, and he will take care of them. Also, something that I'm going to start doing this year. I brought 3 officers here, okay, so they can introduce themselves to you. So you know, I'm actually 4 officers. I brought Officer Andy Collard.
Please come on up when he calls your name. Get a look at you.
Sorry, I'm using it to record. You're going to stop
Officer Eden Rosa. Officer Maggie Ramos.
Here, you can just hold it there.
And in the back, Officer Chris
Just
Crone.
Becca, wait.
We're just going to have them introduce themselves to you, so you know who are the people that are patrolling
Because
the 49th
I'm so
precinct,
close, I have to
keeping
be
you
like
safe.
this. I have to put like this.
I'm also Andrew Kellogg. I do 4 to 12 patrol in the 4-9.
How long have you been here, Andy?
Oh, I've been here since July of 2013. Into the 4-9.
Where were you before?
Oh, sorry. Before that, I was in PSA 7. I've been employed with the NYPD since July 2010.
My name is Officer Adam Rosa. Been a cop for about 7 years. Started in the 4-6, then I went to the 4-9. And I said, my name is Adam Rosa. I started at the 4-6, and I'm at the 4-9. I've been at the 4-9 for about 5.5 years. I love this place. The food is great, and I like to play pool.
My name is Officer Ramos Maggie. I've been on the job for 12.5 years. I started in PSA 8 housing, and I've been in the 49th precinct for about 11 years. And I currently am a domestic violence officer.
Hi everybody, I'm Chris Traumer. Been here about 15 years. I'm the youth officer, and you know, it's a pleasure to come to this precinct because I hung around Morris Park and White Plains as a youngster, so I was happy to come back here. And you know, the main thing that stuck out about me to this place was the friendliness of the officers when I first got to the precinct, but even more friendly was the community. You know, they were the Morris Park. I started out there. They would come to the jobs and back you. Vinny Presienzo, all of those, you know, it was like volunteers. These are volunteers, you know, so, you know, I'm happy to, you know, serve you guys. And, you know, and I have to say from the heart, the best CO of this place is Inspector Johnson. Like, because he believes in the youth. You know, I do a lot of youth stuff. Lefty helps me, Morris Park, Allison, all. Pelham Parkway, but you know, he really believes in it, and you know, I appreciate that. Thank you, and everybody.
at each precinct community council meeting, I'll bring different officers, just so you can meet them. Because for the most part, all you see are the police cars driving around the precinct, and you don't really get to know the officers. Everybody except Andy Collard, who I think said one word. I want you to get to know them, so you know who these officers are when they do come to your residence or to your emergency. Thanks, guys. Okay, just a couple of comments. Again, I wasn't here last month. We had an incident. Everybody knows on Taylor and Morris Park. And the officers are all doing fine. We had a knucklehead who decided to drive his car recklessly and try to run over about 8 of my officers. Thank God nobody was hurt. And again, I apologize for not being here last month. First and foremost, you know, a lot of people have been looking on the internet. I think something went viral, I believe yesterday. It's an incident from Sunday. One thing that I have my officers do is they do bus checks and theft of service checks. I know the video looks bad. I don't know why. Basically, what the cameraman forgot to first show was Mr. Strachan getting off the bus and pushing one of my police officers. My officer went up to him, asked him a question. He pushed my officer, and he said, "I don't have any time for you." So then my officer placed him on the brick wall, waited for backup, and I think Mr. Strachan, I believe it's next week, will be probably a Academy Award nominee. Because he was screaming, he was crying. He got back to the precinct. He didn't complain at all. Didn't make any complaints, didn't make any allegations. I guess he just wanted to get as many people and get online like he did. Again, we're investigating the matter, but again, I didn't see anything. They did not use excessive force, as I could tell. My superiors don't believe they use excessive force. And again, there are some people who have hidden agendas, and I believe Mr. Strachan has. Another thing that's been going on, I don't know if you saw the paper last week, on February 14th, a male with psychological problems walked into the precinct with a jar of cyanide. I've been in the 4-9 year and a half. I didn't think I'd see that, especially on Valentine's Day. He walked in. We're investigating the matter. We're working very closely with the FBI and the federal government, and they are taking over the case. And the perpetrator will probably be prosecuted federally. At no time was anybody in the 49th precinct ever in any danger. We used safety, and we recovered the 30 grams of cyanide and 2 firearms, and like I said, nobody was ever in any danger. On February 19th, I think you also read the paper, and somebody said it's been a busy week in the 4-9. We had 3 people shot. One, a 79-year-old lady, Sally Adams.
Oh, the Scott Stringer.
We had a 79-year-old lady, Sally Adams, who was an unintended, got grazed in the right hand, right palm, and the left finger. He's doing fine. He's actually, on Saturday at Maestro's, is going to be celebrating her 80th birthday. And very sweet lady. Thank God he wasn't struck, he wasn't hurt. Again, it was the middle of the day. There was no school last week. And a stray bullet struck her. It also struck 2 other people. But great work by my FIOs, my patrol officers, and the 49th Precinct Detective Squad. We made the arrest 2 days later of Mr. Christopher Lopez, who admitted to doing the shooting, and he is now incarcerated for attempted murder for 3 counts. Again, a couple other things I just want to bring out to everybody. Scam. We got a lot of scam artists going around there. We have the green dot pack cards. The Green Dot Pack Card. What you're going to get, a lot of people are going to be calling you. These con artists are very good. They're going to call you and they're going to tell you that they're either the IRS, you owe back taxes, they're police officers, you have a warrant from that you don't know about, and or they are going to say that a member of your family was arrested, and if you give them $10,000 on a Green Dot Pack Card,
Yeah, okay.
they will release them. I'm telling you right now, we're not money ball. This ain't let's make a deal. We do not do that. What we do is, if you get anybody calling you, it could be a federal agency, police department, Con Ed, call, inquire. Don't just listen to what they say. These con artists are very good. They're going to tell you that you owe everything. You're going to forget. They're going to be so good. They're going to know about you. Because on the computers now, they can do anything. So again, do not trust these people. If somebody calls you and says you owe them money, call 911. Call the 49th Precinct. I will send either a police officer or detectives over there to investigate.
Oh, God.
Again, it's your money. You work hard for it. Do not give it up. Last but not least, we've been having a little spike in car break-ins. One thing that I did working with the Bronx DA's office is we use the bait car. What we do is we put a car out there that looks like all the other cars that are getting broken into, and I have about 8 officers that are in surveillance around it. We wait for somebody to strike. 2 weeks ago, we were lucky. We grabbed a male perp, Gary DeBoer, who attempted to enter this car. He's incarcerated. He's still incarcerated on $1,000 bail. And again, we're doing all we can to make sure that the residents of the 49th Precinct are safe and that their property is safe. Thank you. City Controller.
I'm gonna let him sit down for a second because I want to introduce him. Now, since you're talking about money anyway, yesterday I was invited. I was called by the city controller's office last week, and when they said it was the city controller's office, the first thing I did was call my lawyer. Then I thought about it, and I said, well, you know, I don't really have any money anyway, and whatever I had, my wife was already taken. So I wasn't really worried about him anymore. But he did invite me to come to Brooklyn and receive an honor. And it's one of those Black History months, and the controller is doing this citywide. This time he picked Brooklyn. So I went to Brooklyn. I'm very happy that I went, not because of the award, but because I had a chance to meet him. And when he was running, I didn't know him. I was a little bit on the fence, but when I met him, I met his wife, I met his 2 kids, and I saw the way his staff reacted to him. And that really impressed me. And if his staff likes him, and the people in Brooklyn like him, because the people in Brooklyn don't like anybody. The people in Brooklyn like him. So, he said he would stop in today, and just to say a few words. So our city controller, Scott Springer.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Inspector Johnson. And last night we had our Black History Month honors, and Joe was kind enough to come to Brooklyn. He made an amazing speech that you really should be aware of. Comes across as a gentleman, but he's a very powerful speaker and really captivated the audience talking about his life experience. And then I said, listen, Joe, not for nothing, I got the award, but I'm now coming to the precinct council meeting. And what's he going to say, no? So he said, yeah, you got to come. So I just really wanted to stop by, introduce myself. I'm your new city controller. I've been city controller for 55 days. For those of you who have a pension, all is good. And for those of you who worry the city has money in the bank, I've got it covered, okay? So I want you to know not bad after 55 days. Part of the reason why, as a fiduciary of the pension fund, we're looking to create savings in the pension system because we want to kick it back to the city budget. We need more cops, we need more teachers, we need to deal with the 152 labor contracts that have expired. We have a lot of challenges in this city, but the biggest excitement, I think, about this new government is that we're able, with the new mayor, new controller, new council, we're able to look at issues and hit the refresh button. To think about new strategies about how we build communities, how we invest economically in boroughs, quite frankly, beyond Manhattan. I think that's a good thing. And part of what we're going to do as controller is be an activist. Somebody who looks at the fiscal bottom line, roots out waste and fraud in agencies, call out questions, as we already have begun to do in our first 55 days. And I want you to know we want to be part of the community. Jason Laley, Jason, hello, is our rep in this community, and we want you to get to know him.
Jason.
If you have an issue, if you think there's something our office could be part of in the community, call us. If you think you have an issue relating to pension or finance, or you see something you don't like, and it's not a police matter, call our office. We want to help, and we want to be engaged. So I know you have a long agenda. I just wanted to stop it. You know, I grew up in Washington Heights. My parents were in the Bronx, so I've always felt a connection, because Washington Heights kids went to the Bronx, we didn't go downtown, right? So I've always felt that in Pelham Parkway, in this community, this is where the backbone of the city lives. You've built up neighborhoods, you've raised families, you deserve a city government that works for you. And the fact that all of you are here, time and time, at this robust community precinct council meetings, I've gone to a lot of them over the years, is a testament to the strength of the commander, the police officers, but also the community that comes and works with the police. That's how we solve problems in this town. We work together. Thank you all very, very much.
Before you leave, I always like to brag about our community. So,
Stop and start. You think you can edit this?
these are our new safe haven posters.
Wow.
Now, they look like the old posters, but we've got more people, and we're renewing this. But I want you to meet the people who've given these out. Here we have the Pelham Parkway Neighborhood Association. Would you stand up? And that's you, listen to the president. We have the Morris Park Association, and that's their patrol supervisor. We have the Van Nest Alliance and their president and their members. We have the Allerton Homeowners Association. Up there. Okay. We have the Bronx Park East Association. Here. And we have the Allerton International Merchants Association. These are the people that have been going out and replacing the signs and the other one. Oh, and the White Plains Road bid, here's my hand.
And we have a bid rep, so listen, invite me to the associations, to the meetings. If you'd like me to come by or send a representative, we want to connect, whether it's Allison Avenue, wherever you are in Pelham, we're happy to help, okay? Thank you all very much. Thank you. I'll be back.
Okay, back to police business.
He says there's one in the bank, so there should be enough for more cards, right?
Should be, right?
Come on, Scott.
I'm about to give you my cell number. Do I take your cell number now? Go ahead.
What's your 347
Thank the city controller.
517
The great honor.
0093?
Surprise. Again, usually, one thing that we do each month here is the cop of the month. Unfortunately, what happened last month, we were unable to do it. So this month, I'm going to, last month, our cop of the month is going to be Officer Dave Kelly. Officer. One thing that we started in each precinct in the 49th and the NYPD is field intel. Field intel is the backbone of the police department. When I got to the 49th precinct, Sergeant Brian Hughes was the FIO sergeant, and he does a great job. He does such a great job. Everybody's always recruiting his guys. So when I first got to the 49th Precinct, Officer Dave Kelly was one of the officers that was always out there, knew everything that was going on, and I knew that when we had to get a replacement for the FIO, Officer Dave Kelly was going to be one of those. So in April of last year, we put Dave in there, and he's already had, in less than a year, 25 search warrants. He's already executed 25 search warrants. He's already recovered over 15 firearms and over half a death of heroin, numerous arrests with crack and marijuana. Officer Kelly is the type of person, police officer, that you don't want to see if you get arrested. He's going to get all the information out of you. So again, this is one of the reasons why we made Officer Kelly.
I want to say thank you. It's never been better than working for the Inspector 49. It's a great place to work. It's full. And everything from Sergeant Hughes and Detective Canuto back there. They're 49 is great, and thank you very much.
This might be one of the last days with Officer Kelly. He's worked so hard. The Detective Bureau has basically put their sights on him, and any day now he's going to be transferred to the Detective Bureau. It'll be a Now we get back to our next top of the month for this month. January 22nd, 2014. I don't know if anybody remembers it. I remember it because it was probably the coldest day ever. Officer Reynolds, along with his team, got some intelligence that 3 perpetrators were coming over from Brooklyn, and they were going to do a shooting up in 2818 Bronx Park East. Officer Reynolds and his team, they jumped right into it. They didn't care. They got the intel, 3 firearms, 3 perps, and they were going to look to kill someone. Officer Eric, not caring about his own safety, goes up there with his team, and not only did they apprehend all 3 perpetrators, they also recovered 2 firearms. A 380 automatic and a 9mm. And again, it was the coldest day of the year. Eric ran about 4 blocks, and he apprehended one of the perps, who thought that he had the run on him, could beat him. But anybody who knows Eric, if he ain't out there on the streets making arrests, he's probably upstairs in the gym destroying the treadmill. Eric and his team would rest on their laurels. Just last week, they made 4 gun arrests. They made one in Holland and a D, a perp who was doing robberies. They made one at White Plains and Brady, again, attempted robbery. They made one Friday night over in East Chester Gardens in the projects over there. And then they made one right where we had the shooting of the 3 people, including the 79-year-old Victor and Morris Park. Last year, Eric made 35 arrests. Of those 35 arrests, 5 were for robberies, 6 were for knives, and 1 was for a firearm. Eric works hard. He comes in every day, diligent, wants to get out there, and wants to keep the people of the 49th Precinct safe. That's why Eric
got a Dunkin' Donuts.
Dave. Please. No, not at all.
Thank you. Yeah.
Also, you committed for stopping at stop signs in the black on the market vehicle.
That's going to be Joe's next surprise guest.
If only.
Okay. Well, I guess we can go right into, we're going to go right into our neighborhood reports. Oh, sorry. Hazel?
Since I'm the treasurer, and I apologize for not bringing in the raffle tickets, we're still collecting donations. So if you guys want to just donate whatever you were going to use to buy the raffle tickets, it's greatly appreciated. That money goes towards the mailings that you get every month. So you can send your money to me, and I'll gladly take it off your hands.
Thank you. We need that. Not yet.
Not for the DA's office? You didn't want?
I want you to be here.
Okay, let me get my stuff.
Okay. Most of you know that, and this is an announcement I should make. Most of you know, well, you don't know, but Renee Whitted, our assistant district attorney for quite a while, has been reassigned. Yeah. She was. No, she's been reassigned. You know what they do, and we've been through this before. It's just like when we get a great commanding officer. They only let us keep him for about 2.5 to 3 years, and then he's gone. And I guess they do the same thing in the district attorney's office.
She might come back.
Good. So who's going to be our replacement?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Barbara Robles Gonzalez. I see a lot of familiar faces. Happy New Year's. I know it's almost March, but Happy New Year's for 2014. I am Director of Community Affairs at the DA's office, and Renee Whitted is on a special assignment. So I'm not going to be sending you a brand new person because she might come back, okay? So in the meantime, if you have any questions, I know that many of you would call her if you have a question with the case. You know, there was an arrest, you want information, you can call me, or Mrs. Odalis Alonso, who is with us. She's the chief assistant at the DA's office. So you can continue trying to bring us information, and if you need information from us, that can continue. However, Renee Whitted and several other people are on a special assignment, okay? So what that means is that her efforts are being put towards the prosecution of certain other cases. And that's what mainly what the DA's office is there for. That's the primary reason we are there. Everything else, you know, just everything is in support of prosecution. So if you have any questions, again, I'm Barbara Robles Gonzalez. My number is 718-590-2272. So come next month, this is February, come next month, and maybe through, you know, till June, you might see someone here, the same way if Renee was on vacation, and if Renee was, you know, somewhere else, okay? I'm sorry? 718-590-2272. I will keep you informed through Joe Thompson if anything changes. If she's put on this assignment permanently, that is not the case that we know of right now. You know, but again, if you have any questions that come up about your neighborhood association, call me. Okay.
Oh, one second. I want you to know that Ms. Gonzalez, Robles Gonzalez, has been working with us since I started. And she's always been very, very solid with this precinct, with this police. She's come to many meetings that we've had, talking about many different, in many different areas. So her word is solid with me, should be solid with everyone, and she's a great person, so contact her. She means business. Thank you, Barbara.
We have one more person. My chief assistant is here, Odalis Alonso. I think she has a few words, please.
I'm Odalis Alonso. I am the chief assistant, and in the office what that means is I run the office for Mr. Johnson. So I also wanted to meet with you guys to let you know, again, what my number is and what my contact is. I many times work with Barbara and work with the precinct council representatives when they bring to our office concerns that the community has and that the precinct has. So my direct line is 718-590-2177. My assistant's name is Annette, so if I am not there, Annette is there, and she will get your message to me. And like we said, we have Renee, as you guys all love Renee, and you know how good she is, and it's because she's that good, she's on special assignment. We have her working on some cases that she has to pay close attention to. She and several other assistants in our office. It's our hope that she can come back to you. You know, we just don't know how long this is going to take. I don't want to promise, and Mr. Johnson doesn't want to promise to the community that she'll be back in May, and then it gets extended. We hope that she will. So you will have your Renee back. And again, you know, if you feel more comfortable speaking to Renee, please do. She just may not be able to respond to you immediately or you know, come out to a meeting for you, but she will definitely communicate with us. She's very good at that. So, we just wanted to say hi. We wanted you to see our faces. Please feel comfortable calling us if you have any needs. Mr. Thompson has always raised his concerns and any issues that the precinct council brings with us, and we welcome them. So.
We have one more comment.
I know that Renee in the past, I was sending all of our precinct council reps out with a message that we are looking for neighborhood associations that are as strong as the ones here in the 49th precinct to host an adult workshop. We took on our adult workshop series on the road, and we are looking for a strong precinct. Morris Park has done it about 3 times. We've done after the arrest and You Be the Judge in their main space. We'd love to either go back to Morris Park or go somewhere else. Give me a call. What it would entail is you organizing it, getting a space. It doesn't have to be as big as this one, but as long as you organize it and you get your residents there, we can come and we can cover any of the topics within the workshop series, which include after the arrest, which is the arraignment process, You Be the Judge, which is the trial process, identity theft. A new one that we have now is called knockoffs. Very, very interesting. It'll make you look at the 99-cent store differently. Domestic violence, sexual assault, I mean, you name it. Anything within the criminal justice realm, we can come to your resident association and have a workshop there instead of having it at our offices. So please, we're still looking. You know, I know she's come and she's announced it, but no one has called just yet. So please consider that. We're looking for March or May or June. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
2 comments, real quick I'd like to make. One, little birdie just told me yesterday, Officer Leo Feliciano's birthday. You want to wish him a happy birthday? How old? 33. Kid. Wait till you get mine and Joe Thompson's age. One other thing. About 2 months ago, Deputy Inspector Chris McCormick introduced me and Kay to Reverend Evelyn of the United States Chaplains Association of the State of New York. Very nice lady. Introduce her. And she has a domestic violence awareness forum. She has flyers up here. If anybody would like to participate, please pick one up. Thank you for coming.
Okay, since we're thanking people, thanks again, Barbara. I also want to thank Howie Martin for allowing us to have this space. And he's the best way of finding out. And I want to thank the Pelham Parkway Neighborhood Association for hosting us. So thank you, Edith, and the Pelham Parkway Neighborhood Association. Now we'll go into our neighborhood reports. First of all, let's start with Pelham Parkway Neighborhood Association. Edith.
Should I put this back there?
Pretty much the same. Good, better, and different. Graffiti is already painted all over like again, with all the white things are already ready. The weather to get better, so we can work with Sunday Klein office to remove the graffiti. The kids are not hanging out as much. We do have a problem, mailboxes.
Yes, I got the, we're looking into that.
Yesterday, left me a message.
We're looking into that, we're checking the accounts.
Okay, what I would like to know is the truck backed up and knocked down the mailbox?
We're thinking it might have been a plow truck, a plow?
Well, it's very funny, because I walked down Light Avenue today, there's two men from the post office standing on Kruger with their mailboxes, the blue mailbox, and the mailbox is moving, it's not holding down. So I don't know how many plow trucks, although with the construction work from Con Edison, it's very constant. But being we have the camera on the corner.
We're checking that out. Yesterday when you called me, I reached out to the patrol bureau, which monitors them, and hopefully I should have answers soon.
Would you let us know? I'm very curious, because
Yes.
somebody's walking around with a screwdriver or a plow truck.
Thank you, Edith. Do we have anyone here from Parkside? The Coops. I don't know, Janice is done. Okay, the Van Nest Alliance, we know. Shadahan.
Just want to say it's beautiful so far. We have a medium. They brought that rather than the one last year. Last week, that picture. And then this is the only one that the brother had on his yard division, and you have dark food, all the days that we can touch nobody. They're not good to see, but I don't know who is supposed to. Probably not. I think you could look at your documents today. All of them.
Again, I'll have, that's tough, but we'll look and see what we can do about that.
Morris Park Association, Nastasio Negro.
Hi, how are you? I'm Nastasio Negro, and I'm the coordinator of the patrol, but, you know, as you know, we do have a patrol out there doing civilian patrol close to 5-6 days a week, and because of the snow, we haven't gone that much, but thank God we got the 4-9 precinct. They don't have, they're always out there themselves. I just want to congratulate not only the deputy inspector, but all his officers for doing a great job in catching the guys within Victor and Morris Park. By the way, the person that got shot there was close to either 80 years old. She is my mother-in-law next door neighbor. So that was good news for us, for her to hear yesterday from me, because I found out that they caught the person that did it. And besides, I represent the Morris Park Association because they got a senior citizen, besides a youth, and also they have, I think once a month with the pajamas, reading with the politicians, and or the young kids with the 4 or 5 years old, and so that's basically I could say so far. Thank God, because of the good relationship that we have now, and that we have with the 4-9 precinct and all these programs that we have in our association, everything is going well. And always we have the political people that come to our meeting, which is every 2 weeks, which will be tomorrow if anybody wants to go. And that's 1824 Morris Park Avenue. You're all invited at 7:30. Okay? Thank
you. Bronx Park East Association. Oh, and Rob, restrict yourself to police matters, okay?
All right. Howdy everyone. Raphael has Bronx Park East Community Association. We represent Allison and the area around it. First, I want to thank Commanding Officer Jay Sturdivant and Vic for letting Cecilia Smoker and Kenny Augusto participate in the Citizens Police Academy. They will be great students, or whatever you call it. First matter, the no left turn at Waste Place and Boston Road, which is brought to our attention. I sent the email, I believe.
Excuse me.
What?
That's community board stuff.
This is No left turn is a matter that police enforce. Traffic officers are part of the police
That's
department.
community board. Anything that has to do with traffic, except for traffic enforcement, is community board.
This is traffic enforcement. No left turn.
No.
Police.
Come on.
This is a question for the ADA. The court watchers program. I'm not sure if the senator's office administers it or ADA.
We're working closely with Senator Klein's office, and it is coming back. Our deputy chief of the Arson Auto Economic Crime Bureau is already in contact with someone from Klein's office to resurrect it. And we already have several cases that they're
I just want to say that the association would be happy to participate.
So you would have to go through Senator Klein's office. He's the one who, you would go to him, and then they select who's coming, and they bring you. It's really a great partnership.
Okay. Also, I have a question. Are police officers allowed to give a ticket for the Cooper Scooper law?
Yes.
They can. Okay.
It's tough to enforce, but we do probably a couple of summonses a year for them.
Couple.
Okay. Again, most people are not going to let their dog do their business in front of the police officer. So it's tough to actually enforce it. But we do look for it. And again, just like everybody else, we hate to step in it ourselves. We do see it. If we do see it, we do enforce it. But, you know, like people aren't going to rob somebody or shoot somebody in front of a cop. They're not going to let their dog do their business in front of a cop.
Or what about undercovers? Can they?
For that.
That's not priority.
I get laughed out.
Just want to follow up on the Britton Street, White Plains Road grocery stores that are open 24 hours.
We do. We referred that to Vice again. Only one of them, I believe, the 28 one, the northern one has a liquor license. The other one doesn't. I know a couple of summonses were issued by the Vice Division. We executed a couple. We executed a couple of summonses for people drinking inside, loitering inside. But again, I can't enforce hours. That's not a police matter.
Okay. And just also wanted to thank you guys for the police presence at Middle School 135 during dismissal. If you could do during entrance to school as well, that'd be great. I saw there was some activity around there a couple days ago, around 9:30 a.m. I'm not sure what was happening. No, I think it was Holland and Boston Road. Just that general area. Just want to thank the police presence. In reference to altitudes, Bronx Park East Community Association looks forward to working with our elected officials towards a targeted approach. In addition to the great work of 4-9 with the enforcement aspect, but we look forward to working with electeds in the next couple of months towards a more targeted approach that encompasses more. Anyhow, I'm rambling. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Now we're gonna go into our clergy reports also, and our first member. I'm sorry.
Again, first, Reverend Evelyn would like to say a few words.
I hear you.
Excuse me, would you speak up, Reverend? Would you speak up, please?
I'm sorry.
Public service, you gotta be able to face the public.
Speaking already.
Yeah.
Each time I just throws me off. I represent United Chapel in the State of New York. We're a volunteer organization. We serve all the 5 boroughs, Westchester, other states, and we've been teaming up with a lot of the NYPD. Where our main office is, it's in the South Bronx. I actually live in this neighborhood. This is my community. And I'm so busy doing work over there, oftentimes the north side of the Bronx gets neglected, but we know there are problems here too. I've been a teacher for 15 years, and as an educator, domestic violence is widespread, starting in preteens, as early as 10, 11, 12, and then of course up. The lines are so gray that some don't even know they're being abused, and parents don't know their children are being abused. So though the 40th precinct is the one who is put this together with the district attorney's office and Bronx Outreach. She's part of the domestic violence team. She's going to be there. I'm sorry, I forgot her name. Officer Maldonado. Deputy Inspector McCormack from the 40th has put this together. We hope to connect with your Deputy Lorenzo and your community affairs team as well, and bring that over here so that your community, your children can get it as well. But you as adults, if you can come out, or you know someone, or you think you know someone who might be involved in domestic violence, we invite you to come out and see what it's all about. And if this is something you want in your community, we're going to team up with NYPD. We also want to make mention that NYPD has been so supportive of us. Even the One Police Plaza Lieutenant in charge of the community affairs for the 5 boroughs, he educates our chaplains on the Citizens Police Academy program. And we encourage and we recommend our chaplains to take that so that we can educate the community on the do's and don'ts of NYPD and the misconceptions oftentimes depicted on television that we all get. Even when I took the program, I was like, wow, I didn't know that. So, we're educated, we're aware, we have services that are free to the public, confidential, and like I said, we're branching with all the NYPDs to see how we can best serve their needs as well as the community. And thank you so much for giving me the moment. And just so you know, it is on Wednesday, March the 5th. The time is 6 to 8 in the Jackson Avenue Family Residence. They have the flyers up there. The number to the community affairs is there, and our number and what we do is also on the front. So if you want to know more about us, please feel free and reach out and contact us at any time. Thank you so much.
We also have a clergy council in the 49th precinct, and you have several members that are here now. So maybe you could avail yourself, and maybe you can have a little conversation. You have Rabbi Zuckerman here, and Reverend Coleman. Pastor Jay? Pastor Jay Gooding. So you've got 3 or 4 members of our clergy council.
You wanted to contact us to get together with your clergy council.
Yes, I think it would be a good idea.
Okay, great.
And now we'll hear from our clergy council. Pastor Gooding.
Good evening, everybody.
He's going to bring up.
Where's Rabbi?
He's going to bring up what?
I do want to encourage those from chaplains, if you have any clergy that their churches or they reside in the 4-9 boundaries, they're welcome to join our clergy council also. So we have our clergy council. I do want to say thank God for some of the members that Dr. Gorlick and Reverend Coleman was our treasurer and our executive board tonight. We represent your clergy council, the 4-9. I just want to say that I do want to make an announcement. On April the 29th is our next clergy council meeting, which will be held at the 4-9 precinct at 5 p.m. So again, please tell your clerics of your churches, your synagogues, your rabbis, your imams, your priests to come on out and join us. You know, we have, we're doing a fine job, and I thank God for these men up here. I don't know if Joe mentioned about SNUG, about the SNUG program. So it's something that we're trying to work with the community. We do solicit your prayers. Senator Klein, Senator Klein is starting a new program that has been initiated from the New York State Senate and our governor. And we do solicit your prayers. We need your prayers as we try to, I talked about last month about the young people, about how I believe our society, just our problem in society in general, begins in the home. We've lost control in our houses. Our parents, children no longer have that respect for authority. Senator Klein is starting a new program that's going to be initiated in upcoming months where it's SNUG. It's called SNUGs. It's guns spelled backwards. Where we're trying to try to take guns off the street. And so we're going to be working with Jacoby Hospital. Joe Thompson is a part of that. And we're going to, and we ask you for your prayers, just your prayers to help us keep us covered while we're out there. because we're all working together, and we often have the slogan, we're better together. Community, the church, and the cops, our police department. So with the CCC, we are better together. So we need your help, we need your prayers. Again, I'm going to ask Reverend Coleman though tonight. He's going to, if you don't see me, you always see Reverend Coleman, that's part of our executive staff. So he's not much of, he's the pastor of Burke Avenue Baptist Church. So I'm just going to ask him, he got 30 seconds. You know, it's hard to give a preacher time, you know. I'm just asking him to introduce himself and just tell him where the church is.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here tonight. Burke Avenue Baptist Church, 1282 Burke Avenue. I've been blessed to be the pastor there, going on 24 years. And I just thank Elder Gooding. I thank Joe Thompson. They've been a strong influence in my life, getting back into the community and trying to do some things. And so I'm just glad to be here tonight. I was here last month, and I like the feeling I got from being here. It's almost like church. Amen. And I like it. So you're going to be seeing more of me. Amen.
Right. And again, we got Dr. Wallace also tonight. We're in this together. We're in this together. We want to let you know that the church is with the community and with our police department. So we love you. God bless you.
Again, I want to just say, no matter what tragedy we have in the 49th precinct, whether it's a personal tragedy, a family tragedy, a community tragedy, Pastor Gooding, Dr. Gorlick, Reverend Coleman, they're always there. We just got to call them. Somebody's in the hospital, they'll come, they'll stay with the family. They are great. And like Pastor Gooding says, we are better together. Working together to help the youth realize that those people on MTV and on social media, they ain't looking out for the best of them. We are. The family are. The church, the community, the police, the precincts. We are looking out for them. We know what's best for them. And again, these people on the streets who tell them, go rob that person, go beat up that person, and then you'll be one of us, they don't care. They really don't. Because once I'm telling you, I had the FIOs here, they'll tell you, once we get them behind the door, they'll give up anybody. They'll give up their own mother. It's their family. It's the church. It's the pastors. It's the reverends. It's the community. It's the parents. It's the grandparents. They're the ones that they got to realize or care about their best interests. And again, I want to thank Pastor Gooding for all his work.
Well, I can skip church on Sunday now. Grace Guaglio.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to talk about, on February 13th, my son-in-law was unlawfully arrested. How? Because he was initially he was in the hallway with my granddaughters. They're preparing for a show. They're doing something in Puerto Rican Day Parade and stuff like that. He came in, grabbed a cigarette from his pack of cigarettes, went outside to smoke outside because he can't smoke in my house. Went outside in front of the building to smoke. Two detectives pulled up and immediately accused him of smoking pot. First of all, he didn't reek of pot. He was not smoking pot. There were other people around that saw he was not smoking pot. Let me finish.
Can I just say something? You're going to tell me all this?
Well,
and again, I don't have what I will, if
well,
you don't mind. What
I called, okay, let me finish. Let me finish. I got a minute.
You give your phone number.
I have a complaint number here. I have nobody from IAB has called me, and I want this investigated. Because he was threatened. He was made to confess
Again,
that he was smoking.
I don't know.
I have witnesses he wasn't. I know. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, I don't know about it.
I'm
so
telling
you're
you, I
telling
know.
me, but there's nothing I can say.
Okay,
I have
I
your phone
want to
number.
follow up
I
on
will look
this.
into it, and I will call you.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
Great. He always does it.
Okay.
He'll always look at it. So don't worry about it. He will look at it. He'll look into it. It's just that you just
Yes,
don't
you
have
give,
all the information on
Just write
hand.
his name, I have your name, just write your name. The person you're talking about that was supposed to be arrested. Just write his name. No, I have this there. I have that.
And while we're doing that, Ancreus Ranhami?
Hi, good evening. I'm Chris Rambani. Thank you.
Okay, I was close.
No worries. Deputy Inspector, you brought it up earlier in the meeting as one of the first things you brought up, and hopefully that background music does not indicate anything with regards to me. It's like great timing. But I just wanted to bring up a couple of additional things with, and the incident that you spoke of earlier was the arrest on White Plains Road, Pelham Parkway South, right off of the Select bus. And what you indicated was that the officer who was coming off of the bus may have been pushed by the first person who was arrested. There was a second individual who was videotaping the first individual being arrested, and that second individual was also arrested by the same officer.
That matter is being investigated by internal affairs.
Okay, and so I just wanted to ask about that, and I also wanted to bring up that, you know, there are a lot of things that are happening, as you are aware, and I appreciate all the things that you do in our community. You know, I come here and I'm very appreciative, grateful. But there are a lot of things happening across the nation that are feeding into a racial tension. And I think that these two arrests, as you said earlier, quoting you, they look really bad. Or at least the first one, it looks really bad. I know you went into more detail. But what I'm asking is that hopefully we take this as an opportunity to build bridges, understanding, and specifically education for our community members. And as an example, my little brother, who actually has been arrested, and rightfully so, but I've taught him, and when a police officer approaches you, that person is God. Like this, you have to respect that person, just like when you respect the judge and any public servant. You respect them and you give them that. But at the end of the day, what does that mean? And I just think that there was a lot of bad.
Again, one thing I tell everybody, and Ms. Rondon, thank you. One thing I tell everybody is there's bad people in every profession. I'm not saying that every police interaction is good. I'm not saying that is bad. But like I said at the beginning, there's laws, there's rules, there's common sense, and there's common courtesy. Like you said, like you taught your brother, police officer, if you go up and you start with him, 9 times out of 9, you're not going to win. You're going to get arrested, and it's going to look bad. We do have certain avenues. We have internal affairs, we have civilian complaint review board, you have myself and other precinct commanding officers who do look into this. But again, you're going to do something that is going to get you. This gentleman, all he had to do was just talk to the officer, and he would have been on his way home. Again, I'm not saying that I wasn't there, and most people here weren't there. We don't know what really happened. But again, if I always find out, you get a lot more with sugar than vinegar. So if you just go up to a person, the police officer most of the time, they just say, yes officer, no officer. And if you believe that you're being racially profiled or profiled in any way, we do have avenues. Again, Police Commissioner Bratton has taken all the precinct commanding officers, and he told us what he expects. And again, it's the same thing that I've expected from the first time I got here. Everybody is treated fairly and equally. Doesn't matter if your nationality, your race, your economic
socioeconomic status.
Yeah, status. Thank you. It doesn't matter. Treat everybody the same way, and that's one thing that we do in the 49th precinct. Again, like I said, there are avenues. There's the Bronx DA's office who does investigate every matter, and we have